Is a Ford AOD transmission. Got the front pump off. Uh, Stupid is as stupid does, I guess. Had to change it because I didn't set the torque converter all the way. So anybody that's in a hurry, not paying attention, if you go to put it on without the torque converter in all the way, you're going to break the gear. It'll be this guy on the inside. If you can see right there, that's where I crushed it like a dummy. But if you're gonna change it, you're gonna have to pull it off here. There's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts that hold it on. You're gonna have 2 bolts in the pump housing itself. This is the back. Hold on, let me flip this other one around and I'll show you. Gotta get it apart real quick. This will be the side that you're looking at when it's in the transmission. And you're gonna have, see if you can see in there, see if it'll focus. You can kind of see it. My phone don't want to focus on it. But that hole's threaded, and the one that's there, the one directly across of it, is going to be threaded as well. Where'd you go? And then you have 2. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, directly across. So it'll be across. There's one of 2 ways you can go about getting it off. You can use a slide hammer. You run a bolt. Your starter bolts for the Ford AOD will fit in those holes and thread in, and then that's what you'll use. The other option outside of the slide hammers, you can get a dowel that'll fit in that hole and do it like you would a brake drum or some sort, and you can push it on out. My issue is when I ordered it, this is what they sent me right here. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe somebody with far more experience could tell me, but that's supposed to be one of the seal rings, and they got it cut out. Like that ain't doing nothing. Same thing for right here. That ain't gonna do anything. Or right here and right here, my bad. Right here and here. No clue as to why that's cut out. It's not going to do what it's supposed to be doing. Like I said, so maybe somebody with far more experience. I'm not a transmission guy. I waited till after I was about done with this before even doing a video to make sure I'm not telling somebody wrong. But so I took, these are the old gears out of that I got sitting in the new pump setup. Took the new gears and put them in the old one. And you want to check your clearances. I couldn't find any specs online. So what I did was measured or compared the two. Figured if they were within 2 to 4 thousandths of an inch apart, then they'll be good to go. Because this one measured right here to here. Make sure that was right, and they were the exact same on both rings. And then I measured from here to the top of a tooth, just to make sure that the thickness is the same. And they were within 4 thousandths of an inch, this being the smaller one since it's old, 30 years old basically. So that one should work as it should. Hope and pray. If somebody has specs, if you can get a hold of the specs, I would highly suggest following them. And when you pull this out, you want to be watching behind it. You don't want any of those to be falling out. There's bands sitting right there. Basically hold them in, otherwise you might screw something up. So just be careful. And hopefully this helps out somebody in the same boat. Sucks. So, if you're in the same boat and if you want to save money instead of buying a whole new setup like I was going to do, because my idea was to unbolt it, throw the new one in, and throw the transmission back in. If you want to save money, these are online. They're like $20 if you want to just get the rings or the gears. And also when you put these in, you see how this side is almost as flush with that side, and then you go to the other side and it has that gap right there. It's a little more open. The open side, you want to have it facing the torque converter, because that's what helps it slide to lock in. If you put it in backwards, the torque converter won't go in. So yeah, and also if you go to pull this off, you don't have to take this outer pack off. You can just take these bolts out and it'll slide out. I did it in my lap. If you got a vise, or I wouldn't even suggest a vise, you don't want to score anything up. So I set it in my lap and just held it with my knees, and everything came off. These bolts are only anywhere between 15 and 20 foot-pounds. They're not on there. They're just on there good enough. So yeah. Oh, and the other thing, before you close it all back up, you want to get fluid in here. That way when you start it up, come on. That way when you start it up, it doesn't start up dry. So you see the cavities in here. You just want to put some fluid in there. That way when you initially start the car back up, it's not a dry start. And it'll work correctly. So there you go. Front pump for the transmission. I know there's some better videos on pulling it off. This might be a little tidbit to help somebody trying to do something on a budget. So there you go.